The annual Boca Raton Bowls ABC Supply Great Chefs Tailgate Showcase, presented by Boca Raton Innovation Campus and CP Group, heats up on Tuesday, October 15th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Join me, Theo Dorsey, with ESPN West Palm at Brick in Boca Raton as dozens of local chefs, breweries, and cocktail masters serve their favorite tailgate classics. Tickets are on sale now. Visit spiritofgivingnetwork.org/events to purchase your tickets today.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
This is the Delray Beach Open. Don't miss today's top professional tennis stars and legends in downtown Delray Beach. February 7th through 16th. It's 10 days of tennis on the Ave. 140 miles per hour races, parties, music, art, and all the good vibes. Come for the nonstop action on and off the court. Snap pics and post memories at the DBO. Join us for a jam-packed week of ATP tennis matches. More fun, more food, more drink, more parties, more of everything. DelrayBeachOpen.com for info.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
You know, I'm old enough to remember when, there was not enough offense in the NFL. Mel Kiper screaming, safety should play with their hands behind the back. We're not getting enough points. Woo! I guess the sky's not falling anymore.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. Feels so good to be back here in the City Place offices here in West Palm Beach. It's your boy Theo Dorsey back with you on Theoretically Speaking. My guy C-Cat on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos. Holla at your boy. You coming off of 3 wins in Major League Baseball, in college football, and of course your Ravens took care of business against those Commanders in at 1 o'clock slate.
I'm hot right now. Like, I am running hot. I need to go to a casino right now because I can't lose.
Yeah.
I got to convert this fortune with my sports teams into something monetary.
Also hot, C-Cat. Offenses in the NFL again. I mean, look at that. I mean, just give them some time, right? Give them a few weeks. Nobody's playing in the preseason anymore. The connection isn't as strong as it used to be back in the days. 2 weeks in, Mel Kiper was yelling from the mountaintops that we need to ban 2 deep safeties. You can't have 2 safeties more than 15 yards deep. We need to rethink the way that we structure NFL defenses. We need to be throwing flags and telling safeties to walk up into the box, or else we're not going to let the offense snap the ball. All of this crazy madness and the nonsense out there on ESPN. And then here we have it. 9 teams through NFL Week 6 so far, which we still have Monday Night Football tonight, Bills, Jets. 9 teams scored 30 or more points. There was a combined totals. If you add up both teams in each game, they've been averaging a tick under 50 points per game across the league in Week 6. And on top of that, we've had 8 quarterbacks throw for more than 250 yards. I would say, C-Cat, the offensive struggle and the problem with putting up points has ceased in the NFL.
This is a good order of events because, we're starving for football in early September and late August and those times. We'll take whatever football you'll give us. I don't care if the final score is 13-12. I'm going to watch every second of that damn game. Now we have a little more of a refined taste, so we want a little bit better football, more exciting football. It works out.
We do. And now that we also are yearning for it, we have been getting it delivered, and we hope that we get it delivered tonight. If you're an Eagles fan like my guy Noah, who hopped in the chat already, we're only a minute into the show. Noah's already begging us, begging and pleading for us not to rip on his guy, Nick Sirianni, for those Philadelphia Eagles who barely found a way to get past the Browns on Sunday. Of all of the great demonstrative wins we've seen, and we're going to be discussing that today. Today's major question, the topic we're throwing out there is, what was the most impressive win from this football weekend? Not just the NFL, but also college football. What was the most impressive win from the football weekend? Eagles, the least impressive win I've seen all year probably.
Yeah, you know what? I like Missouri's win over UMass, going to enemy territory in a middle school locker room and beating UMass over the Eagles' win over the Browns this weekend.
Yeah. Amherst not an easy place to play. My little sister actually went to UMass, and I've been in that stadium for her graduation. It's a nice stadium. Why does it get so much flack?
Well, for a Division I FBS college football team, it should be a little bit better. Listen, the recording of those Mizzou football players getting off their bus and into the locker room, it didn't look good.
I haven't seen the locker rooms. But the stadium was sufficient for a graduation. Again, congratulations, Brianna, on your degree. That was a few years back. Back to the topic, though, here. We are one game away from being done with Week 6 in the National Football League. We have the Bills and the Jets tonight on Monday Night Football. That should be a good showing. Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen will give out later on my plays of the day on Prize Picks, so you can get involved in there and get some action in, because who doesn't like following up a nice football weekend with getting a win on Monday night? It feels good to load your pockets up on a Monday night.
Oh, my gosh. I've been making bank on Prize Picks on Sunday. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I was making money before the 1 o'clock slate started.
I try to tell y'all about Prize Picks, man. Number one daily fantasy. I'm not going to get into it right now. Number one daily fantasy in America. Promo code TheoD. Hop in there. You get a free $50. We'll talk about Prize Picks later when I give out my picks. I do want to get into the most impressive win, because if you played the more on many of the Texans players, which I did going into their game against the New England Patriots, you likely feel just as happy as C-Cat with all of his wins in his football and baseball, as well as his Prize Picks lineups, because those things cashed. The Texans marched into Foxborough and played a Patriots team that many would call, it's not that they're a good football team, but we've seen a good football team fall to them this year. And they had the new energy of a new quarterback in Drake May. They had a guy like Gerard Mayo, who wanted to continue the legacy of not letting the Houston Texans win in New England. But C.J. Stroud, without his number one option in Nico Collins, marched into enemy territory and took down the Patriots 41-21. This was a game where I, with my own mouth and in our punchline picks, thought that, yes, the Texans would win it, but the Patriots would cover. And it was based on what I had seen from the Texans all throughout this year. They've not been in sync offensively. Defensively, they've given up a lot of points to some quarterbacks that you would call, middle of the pack, right? Like they gave up 27 to the Colts in week 1. In week 3 against the Vikings, they give up 34 to Sam Darnold. Remember that blowout loss against the Vikings, 34-7?
We thought the clock was going to strike midnight in the Vikings, and it did not.
They had a one-possession win over the Jaguars, which we saw from that London game. That team is demonstratively worse than what we even anticipated them to be coming into this year. And then again, they just got by a Bills team, which we've seen other contenders literally, smash on. We've seen other contenders literally take the Bills to the back shed if you see what the Ravens did to them. So for the Texans coming into this game on the road with the new energy of Drake May, who did look good, I anticipated the Patriots keeping this thing close. But the Texans had the most impressive win of this football weekend to me, because they did what contenders are supposed to do, and that's on the road against an inferior opponent, Also, without your number one option in Nico Collins on that offense, C.J. Stroud went in there and played a close to perfect enough game to get the win. Joe Mixon came back from injury and ran for over 100 yards, and they had a wire-to-wire dominant victory over the Patriots. It was never in question, and that is what fortifies to me that the Houston Texans, they might not be a team to play with. Like, we need to start taking them seriously. We need to start actually, like, again, recalibrating our thoughts on them. They stand now at 5-1 in an AFC that can be had. I know the Chiefs are still undefeated. I know that the Ravens are marching and they're going to be on their heels all year, but the Texans are in play for the number one seed in the AFC. And when you're winning games like that, games that you can see teams maybe looking ahead to a divisional game or underestimating and playing down to their opponents, when you see a dominant win like that, a 20-point win, a year from now when we look back on this season, it's going to be just a blip on the radar. Nobody's going to think about it. But it means something to me.
It was a statement win for sure, because I was tuning into ESPN 106.3 on Sunday morning to Sunday Huddle with Colin Russo and Cade Chumslin.
Yeah.
Cade Chumslin's a big Texans fan. And he was talking about how the 4-1 record the Texans had going into this game against the Patriots was a little bit phony, a little bit fluky. It was not telling the whole story, and how not as confident as he was going into the Patriots game. But you beat the Patriots by 20. I think it completely shifts the narrative. And you want to talk about tiers in the AFC?
Yeah.
Everybody and their mama knows Chiefs are above everybody else. You can't have anyone in the conversation with the Chiefs just quite yet. And with how bad the Bills have looked coming into tonight's game, and with how good the Texans looked on Sunday, I think you slide the Texans up and you slide the Bills down, and now you have the Ravens and the Texans battling for that 2 spot in the AFC.
And that's exactly why that win was the most impressive win to me of the football weekend through college football, which was a delectable Saturday in college football, and in the National Football League between Sunday's morning game in London with the Bears, who had a huge win. And then it rallied into a bunch of great football games we had all throughout yesterday. The Texans had the most impressive win to me, and it's because of the way that they did it against an inferior opponent. Again, right ahead of a game where, again, next week, you want to talk about a look ahead, the Texans are at Lambeau Field next week. If this was a team that lacked the focus of a serious contender, the Texans would have at least had a close game on the road at Foxborough. Instead, C.J. Stroud showed me something without his number one target in Nico Collins that I didn't see in them all throughout the season, is that they're not playing with their food. And if it's one thing I like about a contender is, or at least if it's one notch that puts teams over the hunch for me as a contender, it's teams that don't play with their food when they're playing against inferior talent, and that's what the Texans did. Who was the most impressive team in football this weekend? Which win was the most demonstrative or told you the most in the football weekend through college football and the National Football League? Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776. Hit us up. What was the most impressive win? Don't be lazy. Don't just hop on here and say it was your own favorite team. Which win really did turn the tide for you and make you feel differently about a football team than you did entering this weekend of football? Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776. And no, Noah, you will not escape today's show without us bashing Nick Sirianni, because he deserves it. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. 888-760-3776. Who had the most impressive win this football season, this football weekend, and how was it not the Houston Texans who put on a display offensively and defensively that, though they still did leave the door open on the back end for Drake May to throw some impressive passes and show us that he is the guy that probably should have started earlier in this season and likely will be the answer to the question of who can finally be the heir apparent to Tom Brady in New England. They found their guy in Drake May, but the Texans didn't let that get in the way of a dominant win on the road. What did you think of Drake May, who to me, when you have a quarterback coming in devoid of talent around him. I mean, he's throwing to guys like Kayshon Boutte, Demario Douglas, Hunter Henry. He's dumping it off to Antonio Gibson in the backfield. He doesn't have a real rushing threat because Ramondre Stevenson's not there. And still, he led them on some competent drives. 20 for 33, 243 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Somebody told me earlier in the office today, I think it was it you that told me the Drake May stat? CK?
Yes, it was me.
I almost discredited you for it. I almost gave it to Brian McLovin-Rowitz. But, yeah, the Drake May stat you gave about air yards on a touchdown. What was that again?
Yes, so since Tom Brady left New England, 2020 on, for the New England Patriots, there have been 3 touchdown passes that have had 35 air yards. Just think of a quarterback throwing the football 35 yards or more. Only 3 of them. One of them came with Cam Newton. One of them came with Mac Jones. And the third was on Sunday, yesterday, with Drake May and his passing touchdown.
Most impressive of that is that Mac Jones actually had one. Yeah. Like, to who is the real question. Like, who was he throwing the ball 35-plus yards through the air to, who also came down with it and scored a touchdown? It must have been like an end-of-the-half Hail Mary.
You know, I don't want to bring this up because it's completely off track, but the lasting memory of Mac Jones to me will not be his London interception that he threw that pretty much lost him the job to Zappe. It will more likely be the Patriots' win in the windstorm against the Bills in primetime, where he had to maybe throw the football 4 times, I believe. He might have been 1 for 4.
It might have been worse. It might have been less than 4 times he threw the ball that game. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, Mac Jones sucks. We got someone on the line.
He might look, Mac Jones, though he stinks and he stunk it up, he might be the answer to another team's problem, Jacksonville. Well, technically in London right now. On Theoretically Speaking right now on line 1, we have Devontae. Devontae's on Theoretically Speaking here on a magical Monday following a football weekend. Devontae, first off, how you feeling? I know you're a Falcons fan. How you feeling just watching a good weekend of football there?
I feel great. I feel great. You know, it feels good to see the Falcons living up to their potential.
Yeah, not 500 yards again from Kirk Cousins, but enough to get the win. For you, what was the most impressive win of this football weekend?
Man, I have to say Baltimore. After they lost against the Raiders, every single week they look way better. Every single week the team is getting better. But just, they went against a hot Washington team. Jaden Daniels, he's been going crazy. And I just feel like Washington is the team everyone's scared of. And they went there. Well, I mean, Washington came to them, but they handled business. They was in control of the whole game. I mean, when you was watching it just looked like Baltimore had the game wrapped up, period.
That's a good call. And appreciate the call, Devontae. He's not wrong there. Like, I picked them in the punchline picks. I knew Baltimore would get the win. I knew they would cover. The only reason why this wasn't a more impressive win to me was because I thought the Ravens had a chance to really put it on the Commanders. Like, because it's no shade to Jaden Daniels. That Commanders defense can be had. And there were spots in which, of course the Ravens were just kind of controlling the game and staying out front. But there were spots in which I was thinking, like, is this going to be the point? Are they going to flip it on his head right now? Like, is Lamar going to go on a drive that'll really put the nail in the coffin? And they never really did that, but they also never left the result in doubt. So, and it's an impressive win, yes. I still would say what the Texans did to the Patriots, a little more impressive. You're a Ravens fan as well, though, CCAT. What did you take from that 30-23 win?
I saw more of the same in a good way, where other than Patrick Mahomes, I now feel like given a touchdown lead or even given a one-possession lead, give Lamar Jackson the football with 4 minutes and he will win that football game. I have the second most confidence in the NFL in a single quarterback to choke the life out of a clock and not give the football back to a dangerous offensive opponent. Because I didn't want Daniels to get the football back, not at all. And I knew Lamar Jackson was going to keep the football, grind the clock down, and he kept on scrambling, kept on getting a first down, did the job.
See, the thing about Lamar Jackson right now is this is a sneaky stat. Through these first 6 games, through the Ravens' first 6 games in which they're 4-2, Lamar Jackson's had 40 or more rushing yards in each of them. The last time Lamar Jackson went 6 straight games with 40 or more rushing yards in a season was that 2019 MVP season, his first full season starting with the Ravens when he was a demon rushing the ball. All of the attention has been focused on how well Derrick Henry has been moving the ball on the ground. By the way, 24 carries, $132 on the ground, a couple of tutties, just 2 tutties. He scored a touchdown in every single game, had a pair of them against the Commanders at home. Like, his rushing is, of course, going to be one of the more efficient years that Derrick Henry has had in his career because of Lamar and the weapons around him, and that offensive rushing attack makes it so much easier on Derrick Henry. But also, Derrick Henry is making it easier and easier on Lamar Jackson to just not that he's having these high watermark rushing games outside of the Chiefs game, which he had like, what, $130?
Yeah.
I think that was a crazy one. Not that he needs to do all of that, but the floor for Lamar's rushing this year is so much higher, even juxtaposed to last year, because of the threat of number 22 in that backfield. I absolutely, as a Chiefs fan, I said this before the season. I said it even after the Chiefs beat the Ravens on opening night on Thursday Night Football, and I'll say it again. That is the one team I fear the most. Not just because of how strong, because that defense is a very opportunistic defense, even without Mike McDonald calling the plays there. Very opportunistic defense, a steady head coach. Like, Harbaugh's not a guy that I know you probably have your complaints. Everybody complains about their own head coach. What's your barometer on Harbaugh, though? Because outside looking in, he's a really good head coach. He's a guy you don't want to face.
He's the type of coach that finds any little loophole in the rule book to use to his own advantage, and sometimes he's too smart for his own good, where his mind works a mile a minute. He'll think he'll hack the NFL, and he ends up being the dumbest guy in the room in that very moment. But he's kind of minimized the clock mistakes of past. I got not much to complain about with Jim Harbaugh.
See, he's a guy that, again, like, think about Nick Sirianni. you go into a playoff game going up against Nick Sirianni and the Eagles, you're like, yeah, we have the edge there.
Yeah.
Like, I feel, not only do I feel comfortable, I probably feel a little overconfident because of who the guy calling the shots for them. But again, Harbaugh's a steady guy. But then again, it's that backfield. It's Lamar Jackson and his ability to have like so many different answers, right? If you load up on the run, he's an accurate and efficient passer. Last night, 20 for 26, 323 yards. He knows how to move the ball through the air. He knows how to take his checkdowns more and more now. And, of course, the threat of his legs. He is the most prolific rushing quarterback in the history of the league. And then right next to him is King Henry, the most unstoppable force at running back that we've seen since like the likes of like Adrian Peterson in his prime. Like, it is absolutely scary what the Ravens have as a rushing attack, as an offense, as a total package. And that's why I say not the most impressive win. Give me the Texans win over the Patriots as the most impressive, because they proved something to me that I didn't think beforehand, whereas the Ravens left a little bit of food on the plate. Could have had more of a happy plate. 888-760-3776. That's the number to Theoretically Speaking. That is the Baptist Health Hotline. What was the most impressive win from this football weekend? Not just college football, also the NFL. Joe is in Jupiter, and Joe is on Theoretically Speaking. Joe, I won't ask you about the Dallas Cowboys, because obviously when you lose 47-9 at home, you don't have the most impressive win of the weekend. What team did stick out to you and impress you the most, though, Joe?
No, it's not the Cowboys. First, real quick, a big props to your radio station. I want to let you know that I was taking my Cowboy flag down from our townhouse community here in Stuart, Florida. I know the neighbors across the street. They just moved in, and I've talked to the husband a few times, and the mother of the husband was out there in the parking lot, and she said, all of a sudden, Joe in Jupiter? I'm like,
wow.
Nobody calls me that. Nobody knows me as Joe in Jupiter except y'all. At 88 Jupiter Joe on Twitter.
All right.
And she's like, I was like, really?
Yo.
Said, yeah, my husband's been talking to you. He recognized the voice.
That's.
I just couldn't believe it. She said you're famous, and I'm not asking to be famous, but that was wild. I'm telling you.
That's
she
incredible.
Said, he listens to the show every day, and I said that's me. Yeah, that's
wow.
Me. They put two and two together because I knew I was a Cowboy fan. They see the flag. They see my stickers on the truck and all that stuff. That was pretty cool. I don't know.
We're making stars out here, C-Cat.
On that, Joe. So you said you're taking down your flag. Was it was it at half mast after that bludgeoning to the Lions at home on Jerry Jones' birthday, no less? After he got a birthday cake from the Fox NFL crew, is that why you were lowering the Cowboys flag?
There's no lowering it. It's just taking it completely off the pole and putting it up in the corner. Yeah. But it's okay. It was dark by that time. Plus, I had to have it down because we were about 10 feet from those tornadoes the other day. But we're good. But,
okay.
I know I don't have a lot of time, but I will tell you, the Detroit Lions are no joke. Even with losing Hutchinson, which is a terrible injury, they are no joke. They can fly it all over the field. They got a lot of playmakers. They got three running backs better than anybody on our team. I'm telling you, Theo. I'm close to being over on the edge. You know, I'm getting closer every day, every week. I mean, I'm telling you, just keep me from jumping.
I got you, Joe. We are right here for you.
There.
We are right here for you. And if there's any,
I'm about to become a Texans fan.
Whoa! Oh my goodness!
Get him off, C-Cat. Don't let him say anything else he will regret. Joe, I'm glad you're safe from the storm. I'm glad that Cowboys flag is tucked away in your garage somewhere. Wow, we got to clip that. He's about to be a Texans fan.
So you know there's a very important mental health hotline for people that have dark thoughts. There should be a less severe hotline for people that have dark thoughts about the sports teams they root for.
Yeah.
Like have someone there, the person of reason, who said, listen, think about 6 months from now. You'll be getting excited for the beginning of next season. Don't jump off entirely. Think about it. Don't think short term. Yes, that was an ugly loss in Jerry World on the national stage, the Fox game of the week, but think about it.
Yeah.
You have so many Cowboys jerseys. Think about your success in the previous millennium. Just think about that, Joe and Jupiter. Don't think about the continued postseason failures and the current regular season failures of your team. Don't lose your fandom, because no one should drop their team and consider themselves a man. Right, Theo?
Yeah. Shut the hell up. Also, C-Cat, I had good reason. C-Cat, maybe you've just carved out a new job for yourself.
I think so.
Maybe that hotline is 888-760-3776, and you're the man for the job.
I think so. Not to make a mockery of real-world situations where you need that hotline in life, but there should be a mental health sports hotline.
And I'll be on the other side of it. I'll be the red devil on the other shoulder saying, yeah, get the hell out of there while you can. Get the hell out of there while you can, because every day I thank the lucky stars. I wake up in the morning, and I'm grateful to have my wife right next to me, and I'm also grateful that I dumped the terrible dumpster fire Panthers, who, let's check out the score from them this weekend, 38-20. Lost to the Falcons at home. In our punchline picks, we need to just start lining up the Panthers as a lock every single week to not cover, because the team sucks. There's no hope around that organization, and the only hope is that maybe, just maybe one day, either you get something in return for Bryce Young or he figures it out. But I don't think they have any hope of any of those two things happening. Joe mentioned the Lions as the most impressive win of the weekend, and that right there is a great segue. There's a reason why Joe and Jupiter is becoming a celebrity in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. It's because the guy knows where to take the show. We're going to talk specifically about the Lions-Cowboys 47-9 win, the Lions dominating the Cowboys in that second slate in a game that felt like it would never end if you were a Dallas fan, but not in the way you would think. Who suffered the bigger loss yesterday between Aiden Hutchinson breaking his fibula? And by the way, they did say they gave an update on Aiden Hutchinson. I believe he did have a successful surgery. Obviously, he'll be out for the season, the star pass rusher for the Lions. Who suffered the bigger loss? Them losing their D-end, their star defensive player, the heart and soul of that defense, or the Cowboys, who literally just lost their heart and soul at home? We'll talk about that on the other side. Plus, the Lions' big win sparked another interesting tale here. We have an NFC North right now that is not sitting pretty. They're sitting damn near pristine. The Vikings in first place at 5-0. The Lions in second place at 4-1. The Bears in third place coming off that Jaguars win at 4-2. And the Packers in the cellar of the division at, let me check, 4-2. That division is demonstrably better than any other division. 5 losses combined between the 4 teams. We have to figure out which team is actually going to be on the outside looking in come playoff time. That, in fact, is your Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections poll of the week. Hop on Twitter right now, at ESPN West Palm. Hop on Twitter and participate in the Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections poll of the week. Which of the 4 NFC North teams are most likely to be on the outside looking in when the playoffs come around? The Lions, the Bears, the Vikings, or the Packers? Make your voice heard. You know, Election Day is November 5th, and voting by mail it's easy and secure. You can request online at votepalmbeach.gov, or you can call us at 561-656-6208. Return your ballot with prepaid postage, or you can drop it off at one of our secure locations during designated hours. Also, our online ballot tracker allows you to get live updates on the status of your ballot. The deadline to request to vote online, to vote by mail, the deadline to request Thursday, October 24th. So you have 10 days to be able to request a ballot and vote by mail. Make sure you have your voice. Your vote is your voice. Make sure you let your voice count this election season. On the other side here, CCAT, we're talking NFC North, but we're also going to be talking specifically Lions-Cowboys. Of course you want to escape with a win. And I say this confidently. Seeing what I saw out of the Lions, losing Aiden Hutchinson makes them a bit more hobbled, a bit more they have less tools in the bag right now, but still, that offense and the way Jared Goff has been slinging it and the way they can run the ball on you and just pound and pound, like their margin for error is larger than I thought it would be. And they did that on the road, even though it seems like Cowboys' home games are more like home games to the road team based on what we've seen over the past few times. We're discussing that. Bigger loss, Lions or Cowboys in last night's game. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. What a football weekend. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hey guys, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN 106.3. We're cramming so much football into your radio, it might need a bigger antenna. Tune in for NFL, college, high school, and even those guys playing football in the park. Okay, maybe not them, but every other big game. So if you're as obsessed with football as we are, crank up ESPN 106.3.
Shotgun snap. Here comes the rush off the left side. Pass down the middle, arching spiral. Over the shoulder catch. Touchdown. 43-yard strike. Right down the middle.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers they serve in the South Florida community. See how at PNC.com. You're listening to ESPN 106.3.
Any business that wants to get to the top and stay there requires a dedicated team to implement a winning game plan. Eisner-Amper's seasoned professionals provide business advisory and consulting services, such as audit, accounting, tax, HR, outsourcing, and more. Eisner-Amper business advisors help clients transform their companies, build capital, innovate processes, and mitigate risk. For industry-specific strategies that meet your needs in South Florida, make Eisner-Amper part of your solution. Visit EisnerAmper.com/solution.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit SignoramawPB.com.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Mega Thrills at Rapids Water Park. Mega Fun. And new Mega Mayhem, now open. The first dueling water coaster in Florida. Buy single-day tickets in advance online and save. Only at South Florida's Mega Thrill capital, Rapids Water Park.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
The annual Boca Raton Bowls ABC Supply Great Chefs Tailgate Showcase, presented by Boca Raton Innovation Campus and CP Group, heats up on Tuesday, October 15th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Join me, Theo Dorsey, with ESPN West Palm at Brick in Boca Raton, as dozens of local chefs, breweries, and cocktail masters serve their favorite tailgate classics. Tickets are on sale now. Visit spiritofgivingnetwork.org/events to purchase your tickets today.
For generations, hard-working people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
ESPN 106.3 is presented by Rubenstein Law. 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Car accident, truck accident, Uber or Lyft accident, or a slip and fall. Call Rubenstein Law. Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL and visit one of our offices throughout Florida.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Devontae said in our YouTube chat here, Joe Burrow has proved he is not on Mahomes, Lamar, and Josh Allen's level. And it looks like it's hard for Joe to win a game with less pieces around him. That's been my point the whole time. We watched Joe Burrow last night struggle against a putrid Giants team. I get it. Yeah, sure. The Giants picked up a couple of wins. They looked a little like they had a spark. Go back and look at the squads the Giants played against. Those wins they actually had. And the way that real teams that faced the Giants had their way. The Bengals are not a good football team, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that Joe Burrow needs a lot of help to be good. It's not that he's bad. It's just he needs T. Higgins there. He needs Jamar Chase there. And if you're going to have both of those guys there and a good offensive line, you're going to spend a lot of money on offense when you're already paying Joe Burrow $50+ million a year, one of the richest contracts in the history of the NFL, and it's with the cheapest franchise in the history of the NFL. The future of the Bengals is bleak. And for anybody that's like, oh, they're going to scratch and claw their way back into the playoffs this year, good luck. Good luck. Because if the Bengals get in the playoffs, we can play this game maybe later on. Maybe this is a midweek topic here, but let's just say the Bengals do make it in the playoffs. Like, I can name 5 AFC teams right now I would take hands down to beat them decisively in the playoffs, starting with the Ravens, the Texans, the Chiefs, the Bills. Like, don't even have to think about it. It's not a good football team. What is a good program, an institution, you can count on them. Kaiser University. The Kaiser Seahawks, you know that they have the 2023 NAIA football champions. Well, did you know that they can also make you feel like a champion yourself on the links? With the all-new Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center, you can enjoy the best facilities in the area, including an expansive chipping and putting area. You got practice bunkers, plus a 2,000-square-foot indoor training area with hitting bays, cutting-edge technology, and all of it's right there for you to help you train like a tour pro. The Kaiser Golf Coaching Center in the heart of Palm Beach County, off I-95 and the Turnpike. You can find out more at KaiserGolfCenter.com. C-Cat, what's this I'm hearing about Russo and Rizzo wanting to compete against us in the game of golf? The guy that literally trains at Kaiser with the champions. They want to compete against us at the game of golf?
Yeah, it is going to be the 4 to 6 show here on ESPN 106.3. Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo. Russo and Rizzo versus, theoretically speaking, Theo Dorsey and myself, Christian Cat, in a golf match coming up pretty soon here.
Like, who even was this? Did this come out from trash talk? Was this like a marketing play? Like, what's happening here?
A little bit of a marketing play.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be organized by someone who's on this show. You know, you wouldn't guess it because she's not going to be here today using one of her, I think, 45 personal days.
Yeah, she gets as many as she wants these days. By the way, we have a new nickname. Should we wait till tomorrow to debut it with her?
I am so proud and I'm so happy with this.
Yeah.
I don't want to make Tina happy about it, but I want to use it for us. So we should debut it when she's not here, and that's a lesson to Tina Costanza. Show up to work.
Show up to work, and maybe you hear when we debut your new nickname. So here it is. By the way, I should let you say it because you're the one that came up with it. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I had sour grapes here for a second. So I'll peek behind the curtain. I went to go say Tina's name in the pre-show meeting because Tina does other work outside of this show. And I accidentally said Teeny instead of Tina. A little bit of a weird slip, fumble of the words.
Yeah.
And then you kind of laughed it off. You're doing your own work. Teeny. And I go, yeah, like martini. And I thought, wait a second. Tina drinks espresso martinis.
Yes.
However, Tina drinks espresso martinis when there's tequila in them, not the traditional espresso martini. So, hey, it's espresso martina in the building.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Did you push the applause or did
Yeah,
I do it?
I gave myself the applause.
I was trying. So here's the thing. Usually that would be frowned upon to hit the applause button for yourself, but you saw me reaching for it, and then you helped me out because you know I'm so slow with trying to figure out what buttons is which. So it's an impressive nickname, Espresso Martina, because that is the one deviation. Just like with any drink, like if you're doing a drink, like it's hard to tell, but like nobody has a good name for an espresso martini with tequila.
Right, but it's a common order.
It's a very common order. When you go to restaurants all the time, I ask it. In fact, at the House West Palm, which I go to all the time, they have a new espresso martini with tequila that they're rolling out, but they're just calling it an espresso martini and it has tequila in it.
Man, we just made Tina millions of dollars.
We did.
I think we seriously did, because if she gains the trademark of that,
espresso
and
martina.
Now restaurants and bars across Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast soon in this year, and then soon the world.
Yes, the world.
Will call an espresso martini with tequila instead of vodka an espresso martina.
That's it right there, because there's two things that she's known for: tequila and working out at F45. Like those are her two main things. And Tina with the tequila, espresso martina. That's her name on the show going forward. It's been deemed, and so it has been said, and we're going to have a proclamation thanks to CCAT. That is the new name. No longer is it, because we do the happy hour with Tina. It works out, too, because we do the happy hour with Tina.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. How do we not think of this?
I actually bought canned espresso martini from like the store on Sunday.
Yeah.
You go to those liquor stores, man, it is like Disney World for adults. They've got the craziest things in the world on those shelves.
I was just about to say, you sound like an alcoholic. So
that's the thing. I don't drink often. I think I maybe drink once a week, and I get drunk maybe 4 times a year. But it's difficult, man. The only thing that keeps me from drinking more often is how expensive alcohol is. I walk into those stores, dude. They've got stuff I've never heard of. Canned espresso martinis that my girlfriend likes. It's insane.
I like a freshly made cocktail, though. Like, even if I'm drinking at home, if it's not wine, I like to mix something together. And if we're out, I like a good craft cocktail that's made. Like, I don't like a lot of times just doing the pre-canned stuff, even though some of the RTDs are good. Like, some of them I rock with heavy. It's just if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it fresh and right. If you're going to do it on a football field that ain't yours, maybe you do it like the Lions did last night against the Dallas Cowboys on Jerry Jones's 82nd birthday. Right after they celebrated with a nice big fat cake to the owner who was all in, the Lions got all in the Cowboys, 47-9. The rushing attack was working. Jared Goff was flowing. I have this new theory I'm working. Like, teams that have fun playing tend to just do well in general. Even if you're not a good team, the teams that use some of the theatrics, that like the Commanders did. Did you see that flea flicker screenplay that Cliff Kingsbury drew up for the Commanders in their game against the Ravens?
The handoff to Eckler, then a pitch backwards to flea flicker, then a throw back to Austin Eckler.
Yes, again, that's a fun play. The Lions trying to draw up plays to throw it to their tackles for touchdowns, and then you have the flea flicker touchdown pass down the right sideline to Sam Laporta, his only catch of the game, by the way. Those are teams that are playing with joy, that are playing in a land of thrill. They're just good vibes. And then on the other side of the field, you have teams like the Dallas Cowboys who are just stuck in misery, who are every down, every single possession is, like you see the expression on players' faces when they're walking to the sideline. It just looks terrible. Even in the wins, they are stringing together wins or losses in a way that looks miserable to be a part of. And last night's 47-9 loss was just in line with that. But the question is here, which was a bigger loss? The Lions, who posed themselves as a contender in the NFC. They were 1 win away from the Super Bowl last year, losing their star edge rusher, Aiden Hutchinson, who, by the way, we have the update on his injury here. Aiden Hutchinson, not just a fractured fibula, but also a fractured tibia. And it is a season-ending injury that he's going to get surgery on to repair, so we'll see him next year. Or just the Dallas Cowboys, who fall to 3-3 after getting bludgeoned at home, the worst point differential for them at home in the 32-year career for Jerry Jones as an owner. Which loss was worse? And to me, it's easily the Detroit Lions, because what they're striving for this year, their goal, what they're en route to right now is to be an actual Super Bowl contender. And this Lions team, as prolific as they are on all three phases, and as confident as I am in Dan Campbell to at least stick to his guns. I know some people don't like how aggressive he can get and how he can go forward too many times and whatnot, but he's leaning in on being confident in his guys. It's good vibes all around. The play calling there is great. You're not winning a Super Bowl without the heart and soul of your defense and Aiden Hutchinson, and also a guy that is one of the only threats in the pass rush for them. They're not going to be able to do that against good teams in the way that they did it to the Cowboys without Hutchinson in the second half. That's a bigger loss to me than the Cowboys, who literally what they did last night was run of the mill. That's what they've been doing all year when they play against good teams. When they played the Saints, got that ass whooped 44-19. We started thinking that Kubiak was the second coming of Sean McVay, all based off of one win against a terrible defense. You also look at the Ravens loss. They were down 28-6 in that game. They just came back on the back end there because the Ravens have a tendency to let teams back in it. And then you get a win over the Giants. Yeah, sure, cool. You barely squeak by the Steelers, who did everything in their possible, like in their repertoire to be able to try and lose or let the Raiders stay in the game yesterday. You barely squeak by the Steelers, and then again, you play a real team like the Lions, and you get your ass kicked at home. The Cowboys were just more of who we thought they were. That loss, it ain't even that crazy, even though they did lose Joe and Jupiter as a fan. That's the only, we need to phone in to Jerry Jones and let him know that was one of the things he suffered from. But the Lions suffering from losing Aiden Hutchinson, that to me is a much bigger loss. What do you think on that side, C-Cat?
I don't think so, man. I think it was Jerry Jones's birthday. He had the pregame interview with the Fox kickoff crew, had a packed house there in Jerry World. It was the Fox game of the week.
Yeah.
4 o'clock, isolated game, not too much other good things going on in that day, and it kind of was an awful 4 o'clock slate in terms of the NFL. Just Lions, Cowboys, obviously a blowout. Falcons, Panthers, never in doubt. Steelers blew out the Raiders, and Chargers over Broncos, I guess it was a little bit closer. But in general, all eyes were on that game until the clock turned to the third quarter, and people said, you know what, let's catch up on what we're watching on Netflix because that game wasn't worth watching in the second half. I think that's a bigger loss for the Cowboys because I think heads will roll because of that loss from the Cowboys. Talk about last year's playoff loss to the Packers where they got downright blitzed down the throat. Packers come out, lead by 4 touchdowns in the first half. That game was never in doubt. Another example of that in that building, Mike McCarthy might not make it throughout the end of the season because of a statement loss like that. You have the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. You have a record-earning receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
They're not on the same page. They got to figure it out. They're not showing good body language. I think that was a historic loss on paper for the Cowboys. You just rattled off the stats, and it's going to be kind of a history-making loss with the ripple effect to that loss to the Cowboys.
You're right. Heads are going to have to roll. There's going to have to be some changes that are made, and I'm sorry, Dak is already under contract. CeeDee's under contract. You're going to pay Micah Parsons, who wasn't there for that loss. But let me just put this loss into more context for you. Sure, it's a one-off. They lose to the Lions at home 47-9. But let's walk it back here. Let's walk it back because in their last 4 home games, which, by the way, they've all 4 been losses, they've allowed 167 points. That's an average of 42 points per game that they've allowed. They've let the other team come into Jerry World and hang 40 pieces on them on average, and have lost all 4 of those games. We're talking about a team that not only doesn't have a rushing attack, they also don't have really a receiving threat outside of CeeDee Lamb that you have to game plan for. You don't have an ability to stop the run, and you could be had through the air. There's no strength to this Cowboys team, and the one thing that you generally can hope for if you're a football team, especially in the National Football League, is, well, at least if we can get them at home. Well, guess what? You ain't even got a home field advantage.
No.
The Cowboys are decrepit. They're in a place of no return right now, and yes, they're coming off of 3 straight 12-win seasons. That streak ends this year, and it's going to end real quick. I know you get 17 games, but what is that, 5 losses you got to have to win 12?
Yeah.
They'll get to 6 losses before they get to 6 wins. Have you seen their schedule?
No.
The Cowboys, it doesn't get much easier for them. Next up, they're at the 49ers, right? What do the 49ers do really well?
They run the football.
They run the damn football right up your throat. That's a loss. Next up, after that, Atlanta Falcons on the road.
They've got a 1-2 duo in the backfield, Algier and Robinson.
It's going to be a little deja vu. It's going to be a little deja vu for the Cowboys. Just like you saw David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs have their way, yeah, they're going to get a little smash and dash from Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, except they're more so smash and smash the way that both of those dudes do. And next up, I mean, this is comical. This is comical, C-Cat.
It gets worse?
It gets worse. Next up, they're home to the Eagles.
Wow.
That's 3 straight games against team that they lean on the run and still have a really strong threat of the pass, like 3 elite-level offenses. But you know what? Maybe it gets a little easier after that. After that, they get to travel to the Texans. Joe Mixon coming back from his injury, a 100-yard rushing game with those Texans, and also, again, an elite quarterback, a passing threat. Nico Collins might be back by then as well. That might be a loss. We're talking about 4 straight losses on this calendar here, at least 4 straight games where the Cowboys won't be favored, and then they finally get some reprieve because after that, they travel to the Commanders. They're cooked. Wow. The Cowboys are cooked. I don't think we're discussing this enough. Yeah, last night's loss was whatever. They got blown out. It's been over with for them since they started this season with that roster, and all we're watching now are the symptoms of that. Last night told me nothing but all what we already knew. Do we have time? Let's actually get into that. We need to get the get around going because I don't want to miss that today. We'll get the get around going, or should we just do it on the other side?
We can do it on the other side.
Let's do it on the other side. We're going to go around the nation to the top football games from the weekend and hash things out on the get around. But before we do, what's that?
It's time to test your ball knowledge, Theo Dorsey.
Yeah.
You can play along at home. You can play along in your car. You can play along on YouTube. At Theo Speaking on YouTube. You can watch the show as well as listen to it. Because we're going to do some NFL trivia.
Say less.
Are you ready for this, Theo?
Too easy.
You're 0-3 versus me. We'll take you to the house trivia.
That's different.
You're competing against yourself, the man upstairs. It's Theo Dorsey versus Theo Dorsey.
The man upstairs will be God. I'm the man in the mirror.
That's how high I think of you. So last night, Joe Burrow, they got the win versus the Giants. 17-7. Ugly game.
Meh.
Bad game.
I didn't even watch it. Waste of time.
Double screened it with the NLCS on my end. But even though Joe Burrow did not throw for a touchdown, he is still tied for second in the NFL in passing touchdowns so far in 2024. He's tied with Jordan Love with 12 of them.
Wow, he missed a couple games.
If Joe Burrow is tied for second in terms of passing touchdowns, the natural question is, who has the most passing touchdowns in the NFL right now?
Oh, that's tough. Well, okay, I love that one. We'll narrow it down to a couple of them. I have one name that sticks out, but maybe it's not so obvious because I don't even want Sam Darnold. I'm not going to say it. We're going to answer it on the other side. We'll answer it on the other side. And on the other side as well, we'll have our get around where we go against the top topics across the National Football League and college football. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. Who has the most passing touchdowns right now in the NFL? We answer that on the other side. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers and communities they serve by helping them move forward financially. As a Main Street bank, PNC is always working to make it easier for their customers to achieve their goals and plan for the future, whether that's through innovative digital solutions or in person. PNC is proud to be part of the South Florida community. See how PNC Bank can make a difference for you at pnc.com/tech. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
ESPN 106.3 is presented by Rubenstein Law. 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Car accident, truck accident, Uber or Lyft accident, or a slip and fall. Call Rubenstein Law. Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL and visit one of our offices throughout Florida.
Experience football in paradise this fall at FAU Stadium. The Owls host the USF Bulls on Friday, November 1st under the primetime lights in Boca Raton. Tickets are available as low as $20. That's right, just $20. That's Florida Atlantic versus USF in a college football homecoming showdown. Friday, November 1st in Boca Raton. For tickets, visit FAUsports.com. Florida Atlantic Athletics, winning in paradise.
Festive fun is back on select nights. At Palm Beach Zoo, there's family fun. It's the best date night. Oh, zoo lights cheer here at Palm Beach Zoo. Oh, what fun it is ways to save wildlife at the zoo. Hey!
Zoo Lights, presented by Florida Power and Light Company and Discover the Palm Beaches, Florida. Get your tickets today at pbzoo.org/zoolights.
Lease the new 2024 Range Rover Evoque 250S today at Land Rover Palm Beach for only $499 per month with a 42-month lease and only $47.50 down, plus fees and first month's payment. Head over to Land Rover Palm Beach today, located on Okeechobee Boulevard just past the Turnpike, or visit LandRoverPalmBeach.com to set up a test drive of the new 2024 Range Rover Evoque 250S. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond.
F45 Training West Palm Beach offers functional group fitness classes reimagined. Sign up for F45 today and visit their West Palm Beach location. Featuring high-intensity group workouts that are fast, fun, and results-driven, F45 always has the right workout for you. Not to mention, it takes just 45 minutes. Visit F45training.com today to find a studio near you and officially join the F45 Training family. F45, team training, life-changing.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Hey, I'm just seeing this off Bleacher Report. Apparently, a defensive back from the Cowboys, Jordan Lewis, DM'd Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver from the Lions, after that beatdown and said, "You a B-word." Interesting. Let's get to the trivia, though. We'll get to that later. I just had to put it out there.
He scored a garbage time touchdown, I think. Amon-Ra St. Brown did.
Yeah, really late.
Amon-Ra likes to talk. He's got a chip on his shoulder.
He is one of the probably most underrated trash talkers in the league. You don't think of him as that, but yeah. Ever since that draft where he names like the 18 receivers drafted before him, like, dude, get over it.
I know we want to get to the trivia question. I'm asking you, Theo Dorsey, who has the most passing touchdowns in the NFL right now as we stand. But when you think of the top receivers in the NFL, Amon-Ra St. Brown never comes up.
Yeah.
Even though productively he probably should.
And on the payroll.
Yeah.
$30 million a year guy.
But you always think of Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase.
It's also partially because of the way that offense is structured and where he wins at. He's not a big touchdown getter. He's like a slot guy. He's a guy that, he's moving the sticks, not necessarily going for 200 yards in a game. So
right. He'll give you those solid 15-yard gains across the middle of the field.
Yeah, he's so good at that. So good.
So I asked you, Theo, who has the most passing touchdowns in the NFL right now? Joe Burrow and Jordan Love are tied for second with 12 on the season.
It's crazy.
And here's a little hint for you. The leader is head and shoulders above everybody with 15 on the year.
See, and that's why I know. So I think it's Sam Darnold. But only because I thought it was Sam Darnold, but I know it's not Sam Darnold only because I remember him leading the league in passing touchdown, and he's slowed down a bit since then. And there's no way he has 15. And it's not Derek Carr because he slowed down a bunch. Not Mahomes, not Herbert, not any of the names you would think. And I was supposed to think about this during the break, but then I was doing 10 other things. Hold on. Okay, so most passing touchdowns in the season, and it's not. Who are the two guys that were tied at second, you said?
Burrow and Love.
Burrow and Jordan Love, who, by the way, being tied for second in passing touchdowns after missing 2 games.
Not bad.
Jordan Love was worth the money for anybody doubting that. I got to go Baker Mayfield.
Hey,
Baker Mayfield.
Come on now.
He just dropped a 50 ball. How many did he have last night? 5?
He had 4 touchdowns with 3 interceptions.
Right.
Weird game there against the Saints division matchup. Yeah, you got to think about games played. They haven't had their bye yet. So Baker Mayfield's got 15 touchdowns leading the NFL. The next closest, Joe Burrow at 12, Jordan Love at 12.
So how many 3-touchdown games has Baker Mayfield had?
Take a look here, my handy-dandy Pro Football Reference.
Yeah.
He's looked good. Don't get me wrong. Baker Mayfield has looked good so far this season.
4 last week. He gets so many of them to Mike Evans. Mike Evans' anytime touchdown is like every single person's parlay every week.
So he started the season off, Baker Mayfield did, with 4 touchdowns. Slowed down a little bit in weeks 2 and 3 with only 1 touchdown each. Then he ramped it back up. Week 4, 2 touchdowns. Week 5, 3 touchdowns. And This week, week 6, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Because of how slow the passing game started in the NFL, 15 takes the crown.
It does. It does. And tip of the cap to Baker Mayfield. I had a conversation with his QB coach, Thad Lewis, before the season. And I asked him, I was like, hey, how legit is this? And I know he's very, he's the quarterback coach for the Buccaneers. He rides with Baker. So I know he's going to be biased in this sense. But he was telling me, no, for real, they gave him that contract and gave him control of that team and made him the face of what they have going on because they do believe he can be the leader of a consistent, very good, dare I say, near elite offense. And he's proven that through 6 games. And the Buccaneers have looked much better than I thought they would.
And you know what? There was a lot of fluky stuff going on in that game. Some of it helped the Buccaneers. Some of it hurt the Buccaneers. But hanging 51 on a divisional rival on the road, that is nothing to sneeze at. They should be in the running. We opened the show with who impressed you the most this football weekend. Listen, the Buccaneers are 4-2, and they've looked good a lot of the season. But even knowing that impressed me.
It does. It absolutely does. Here's what's on tap for the happy hour. The happy hour is next here on Theoretically Speaking. Sorry to the Tina fans out there, but the Patrick Mahomes of ESPN West Palm will not be here today. She's taking a vacation, but I'm sorry. That's not even her nickname. Speaking of this song, her nickname is Espresso Martina.
You know what? It makes sense because she always comes in cranked to 10 when it comes to energy.
Yeah.
Espresso shot.
Espresso Martina. Espresso Martina. I love it. So no Espresso Martina today, but you do have C-Cat and I. Here's what's on tap for the happy hour. The John Calipari of the NFL. I think we found him.
Too much hair gel. Is that what it's about?
It could be.
All right.
Or it could be about placing production. We'll see. Also, the Duffy's MVP of the weekend. We got to give that out. And the midday midterms. We're going to be pulling out our grading pens and assessing what we've seen. That's what's on tap for the happy hour. Stick around on the other side. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Jar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
ESPN West Palm and Humana are proud to recognize military veterans within our local community. Our Veteran of the Month is Colin Durant. Colin served 5 years in the United States Navy, with additional service as an FMF corpsman in the U.S. Marines. Colin resides in West Palm Beach and continues to be an inspiring presence in the veteran community. He is a proud owl, graduating from Florida Atlantic University with a master's degree in business. Colin is an avid sports fan. His favorite teams are the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Phillies. His favorite athlete is Kevin Durant. Join us in extending our heartfelt gratitude to Colin for his unwavering service, sacrifice, and continued dedication to his fellow veterans. Colin Durant is the Veteran of the Month, presented by ESPN West Palm and Humana.
Mornings. Nope, not my thing. But when I imagine a McDonald's breakfast in my hands, suddenly the snooze button is out of the picture. Now for a limited time, the 2 for $5 mix and match breakfast deal includes the sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, egg McMuffin, or the sausage McMuffin with egg. It's like a fist bump for breakfast that says, you've got this. It's time to gear up and seize the day. The breakfast hype is real. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Attention chicken lovers, we asked for it and McDonald's came through. Introducing the Chicken Big Mac. Treat yourself to the mouth-watering perfection of a Chicken Big Mac. 2 tender, juicy chicken patties sandwiched between a sesame seed bun, plus classic Big Mac sauce, tangy pickles, crisp lettuce, and a melty slice of American cheese. Hey chicken lovers, we did it. Order ahead in the McDonald's app and save 20% on orders over $10. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Offer valid through 12/31/24 at participating McDonald's. Valid once a day. Excludes tax. Must opt into rewards.
Guys, you're special today at Unlimited Auto Wash. Monday is Men's Day, and you save up to $5 off any wash at any of their 7 Palm Beach County locations. Check out the daily specials and find your location by visiting UnlimitedAutoWashClub.com.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees in the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 20 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and 2023 football, lacrosse, and men's swimming and diving titles. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com, pbhnphysiciangroup.com to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It's October 14th. Beware the Ides of October. C-Cat on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos. It's me, Theo Dorsey, back with you here in the 3 o'clock hour, or as we call it here on Theoretically Speaking, the happy hour. And typically sitting across from me would be Espresso Martina, but Tina's out for the day. So we kick along without her. Did she have a reason for her? It was an excused absence this time, or was it just like, I don't really feel like going?
I'm pretty sure she's in town.
I know. I saw her laptop on her desk.
She just doesn't like us.
Yeah, something's going on there.
I want a percentage of the merch that she sells with the name Espresso Martina, by the way.
Yeah.
That's my IP.
How much of a percentage do you deserve in that case? I feel like because if it wasn't for you, she would never have that nickname.
Yeah, Tina's not smart enough to come up with that with herself.
Never, because she had so much of an opportunity. Remember how long it took her to come up with Tina in the Wild? It was like, because she was looking for a new Instagram / Twitter name. And we were all kind of racking our brains for it. And she came up with Tina in the Wild, which is nice. It's fitting. She does the stuff with the Palm Beach Zoo. It works. Espresso Martina is better.
It is much better.
Yeah.
Why would I'm telling you, I deserve a cut.
You do. I think you deserve at least a 20% cut of any kind of sales, any kind of NIL deal that Tina strikes off of being called Espresso Martina. C-Cat deserves a cut because, again, Tina's known for loving tequila, and an Espresso Martina is an espresso martini with tequila, which is the way that everybody prefers it anyways, or at least everybody in my circles.
My day was made. And we haven't even seen her reaction for it yet.
Yeah.
I don't want Tina to get the satisfaction that I thought of her when she wasn't in the room.
Right.
Like, I don't want that she was, because I kind of like when people talk about me behind my backs if it's in a positive light. That feels really good. You ever, fly in the wall of a conversation about you and they're complimenting you? Like, I don't want to give her the satisfaction that came up with this.
We're not complimenting her, though.
Yeah, good point.
So this is not, you don't have to feel icky about coming up with this nickname. You're just like being the Shaq to her D Wade.
Mm-hmm.
You're just delivering flash. Like Shaq gave D Wade flash, it worked. You're giving Tina espresso martina, and it works. It's not a compliment. See, Shaq's was a compliment because he's really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yours is just descriptive.
Yeah, she drinks a lot and it has a lot of energy. That's espresso martina for you.
Espresso martina. What are you gonna do?
Love it or hate it.
Oh man. So that's gonna be something we dawn upon her. She does return tomorrow for the happy hour. We'll give that to Tina. You, C-Cat, deserve maybe at least the MVP of the weekend for coming up with espresso martina.
Never too late.
It's never too late to change who we're giving the Duffy's MVP from the weekend to. But sorry, you didn't make the cut. I'll give out my candidates now for the Duffy's MVP of the weekend. This was a wonderful football weekend between college football and the National Football League. By the way, what the hell is wrong with everybody in college football? We got Kirby Smart shoving the quarterback of opposing teams.
Yeah.
We got Oregon Ducks players spitting in the face of Ohio State players and then winning and then also beating them. What else? There was a lot of disrespect. Oh, the flag plants.
Yeah, 2 different flag plants on one college football Saturday.
Texas.
Penn State doing it at USC.
Yeah.
Texas doing it at the Cotton Bowl. So it's kind of a little different.
Texas's was, I guess that's the reason why they had to bring out the Baker Mayfield jersey to make it make sense.
It didn't, no, but it still didn't make sense because Baker Mayfield's famed flag plant in college came against Ohio State.
Yeah.
So Texas said, you know what? You're our rival.
Yeah.
You disrespected it in our conference across the country. So
Years
we're going to
ago.
plant our. Yes, this is 17
Yeah.
or 18.
A long time ago.
So Texas took it upon themselves
That was
to
weird.
plant the Texas flag in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
At the Cotton Bowl on top of a Baker Mayfield. It wasn't a Sooners jersey with number 6. No, it said Mayfield on the back. A Baker Mayfield jersey, planting the flag through that jersey. And like many, it's hard to actually plant a flag, so it fell down after.
Of course. Yeah. You got to really practice that at practice. Like you practice your touchdown celebration, you got to practice a flag plant if you want that thing to stick.
You got to sharpen it like a shiv.
Yeah.
And then really get it in there. It's
Yeah.
turf flag, so it's not like you're going into dirt often.
Ooh, you're right. Okay, no, we're getting off track. The Duffy's MVP from the weekend does not go to that Texas football player who came up with the bright idea of shoving a flag through a Baker Mayfield jersey into the Cotton Bowl field. Our Duffy's MVP of the weekend candidates, we start with someone who is inextricably tied to Baker Mayfield, and that's Lincoln Riley.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait,
Lincoln Riley.
He coaches USC, doesn't he?
He does coach USC, so he was on the other end of a flag plant, and he's inextricably tied to Baker Mayfield, and that is why he's the Duffy's MVP of the weekend. C-Cat, I know you had a lot of accomplishments in your life. Have you ever been in a situation where you're like, okay, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 of my former quarterbacks are starting in the NFL on one Sunday?
I'm still working on number 1. I still haven't gotten a quarterback to the NFL, believe it or not.
Keep working. You got to keep hustling. You know who has? Lincoln Riley.
5 quarterbacks to the NFL as a college coach.
5 quarterbacks in the NFL, not just in the NFL, that started in Week 6. In the London game, you had Caleb Williams, who went off for the Bears, trouncing the Jaguars. Then you had Baker Mayfield, aforementioned, 50 ball. Spencer Rattler, who was on the other side of that 50 ball, but he was a starting quarterback in the NFL. It counts.
Mm-hmm.
It counts. Kyler Murray's not what we thought he was, but he's also not as bad as he played. He was out there, former Lincoln Riley quarterback. And then Jalen Hurts, who got a win, right? That's about as much as you can say about the Eagles this day. They got a win. So Lincoln Riley having 5 starting quarterbacks that used to go through him starting in the NFL in 1 week, that in itself gives him a candidacy for MVP of the weekend. Next up, how about one of Lincoln Riley's former quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, who returned to prominence. The Bears, everybody wrote them off 2-3 weeks into the season. Caleb Williams doesn't have it. He's misconnecting with his receivers. He's holding on to the ball too long. Remember people saying like, dude, you're playing against grown men. He doesn't understand the speed of the NFL game. This is going to be the biggest bust. Jaden Daniels is the C.J. Stroud of this draft, and he's Bryce Young. Remember that talk?
I do.
All out the window right now. Caleb Williams dominated with the Chicago Bears, and afterwards, after his prolific performance, 3 touchdown passes? I gotta pull his stats up right here. That's why I've been lingering to deliver it. Just you wait here.
Jaguars look like they quit.
Oh, they did quit. We're gonna get to that in a little bit. The Jaguars didn't just quit; that they had a corner on their team who admitted as such. Caleb Williams had 4 touchdown passes. That's what I thought. 4 touchdown passes, 2 to Cole Kmet. And in that win, he designated himself as a person that's going to contend for the Rookie of the Year. It's not over yet. Jaden Daniels does not have that thing sealed up. Caleb Williams has re-entered the conversation, and oh, by the way, the Bears are 4-2. Those are my two Duffy's MVP candidates from the weekend. C-Cat, yours comes from the Diamond?
Mine does come from the Diamond because, believe it or not, I mix a little baseball into the football rotation and the wrestling rotation over the weekend. Spent $20 on a pay-per-view. I would do it again. I don't go to last night's game in the NLCS because it was an all-out blitz. Dodgers over Mets in Game 1. Senga looked like he picked up a baseball for the first time in his life at Dodger Park last night. I'm going to go to Game 5, winner take all, in Cleveland. How about a go-ahead grand slam? Lane Thomas put the Guardians up 5-1 over the Tigers. I'm going Lane Thomas, MVP from the baseball diamond of the weekend.
Well, you know who the MVP of the weekend had to be. It's got to be my guy, Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley, the Duffy's MVP of the weekend because, sure, he didn't get a grand slam that sent his team into the championship series. Sure, he didn't throw 4 touchdowns in London, breaking records for what rookies have been able to do in the past in the NFL. No, he didn't do any of that. But the legacy play of Lincoln Riley, having Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Spencer Rattler, Caleb Williams, and Baker Mayfield start all in Week 6. Lincoln Riley and the legacy he's leaving in the NFL, he's becoming the John Calipari of the NFL, and that's just pumping out talent at the most important position. He's the Duffy's MVP of the weekend.
That's crazy.
And remember, even in a loss, even as his team lost, again, that's why he's John Calipari.
With 2-touchdown lead to Penn State, a team that's notorious, a program that's notorious for laying down like dead dogs when they go against adversity. You're giving him the MVP of the weekend out of everybody in the world of sports.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley, because he won the game of life because the legacy that he leaves behind. Those quarterbacks are getting paid. Look at those 5 quarterbacks. I mean, outside of Spencer Rattler, they're getting paid generational money. Caleb Williams will get a mega contract down the line.
He's not an agent. He's not getting a cut of those contracts from those quarterbacks.
It's part of his legacy. It's part of his resume. Lincoln Riley being the John Calipari of the NFL, I think that is a bigger notch in his hat than winning a damn football game on a Saturday against Penn State at home.
Not at all, man.
It is.
When you enter the Big Ten, some of the gettable teams, like, okay, I would have forgiven Oregon if they lost to Ohio State. That's the top dog, believe it or not, in the Big Ten. Michigan, lose to Michigan, you know what? That's permissible for USC because they did that. Because Michigan's a national champion last year. But you can't lose to Minnesota, and you can't back that up with a loss to Penn State in back-to-back weeks when you especially had Penn State on the ropes in your own building.
It doesn't look good in the same week that Oregon takes care of business against Ohio State. That's where it gets uglier for USC because the other team that comes in that's a perennial power in the Pac-12, they went and handled business. You didn't. But again, that loss against Minnesota to me is worse. Losing to Penn State is formidable. Penn State's a good football team. They're ranked number 3. They're good. And USC's down right now. So Lincoln Riley's MVP of the weekend still.
It's coming from a Penn State fan, so maybe I look at that number 4 next to Penn State, now number 3 when it comes to the AP poll rankings, and I honestly and truly don't respect it as maybe a casual football fan would, where, okay, you see unranked team versus top 5 team, all of a sudden, bang, massive mismatch in the works. The only thing that might level somewhat of the playing field is that the game's being played in L.A., where Penn State has to take a treacherous hour-and-a-half bus ride to Harrisburg Airport. Did you see that comment from James Franklin? He was complaining about the runway size of the State College Airport, and he was saying that's the adversity my team's going through to play this football game against USC. He was complaining about that with the media.
That's real.
No,
I'm on James Franklin's side. You got to take an hour-and-a-half bus ride before a flight. Do you know how much I prefer to fly in the PBI than to fly into Miami and then still have to drive an hour-and-a-half up? I hate that. I will pay like $100+. Don't tell them this. Don't tell them this. But I will pay. I think my threshold is about $100 to $150 of, okay, I will pay that surcharge more to fly into a better airport in PBI, but also an airport that can get me home in 15 minutes and I don't have to take a long-ass car ride. I'm with James Franklin.
You've got these beautiful buses that keep your players nice and comfortable.
Buses.
A bus ride from State College to Harrisburg Airport for that 6-hour flight. What's the hour going to change? Nothing at all. Listen, I lived in Oklahoma for 2 years. Every flight I took, I had to drive 2 hours to get there. I had to drive 2 hours when I flew back into Oklahoma City or Tulsa Airport. Listen, ground yourself a little bit.
Big Ten football team. And also, in the words of my guy Dom Kennedy, one of his best bars to me. It doesn't make as much sense out of context, but I'll say it anyways. You know what's something wrong when you see me on the bus? I don't care how exquisite that bus is that Penn State has built up for that squad and how comfortable it might be. You know what's way more comfortable? Getting your ass straight onto a plane and flying across the country, not have to make 2 trips out of it. If I'm on the bus and I still got to take the plane, something's wrong there. Penn State's got to fix that. I'm on James Franklin's side.
Oh, no, you got to watch a movie before you get in the plane. You still got service. That's a little camaraderie moment, right?
You should be rooting for your alma mater to build better facilities for your football team.
No, I'm tired of that complaint and excuse from James Franklin where he complains about how much nicer the facilities are for Ohio State. That's why they get the better recruits. No, man. Coach better football games.
They won on the road against USC, against the team that you said they should have lost to.
But you know that if Penn State lost that game to USC, no matter what it looked like, and it looked bad initially,
they
would have brought up that treacherous hour-and-a-half bus ride to get to the airport.
Hey, man. Sometimes there's excuses and sometimes there's reasons. And for James Franklin, he said that's a reason, man. It's part of it. You got to bake that into the pie. Stop hating on your own teams. You're so pessimistic against your own squads, whether that be the Ravens or Penn State. Are you like this with the Yankees, too? I don't pay enough attention when you talk baseball.
Yeah, I am a little pessimistic with the Yankees. Of course, when the tide turns to playoffs, it's kind of miserable to watch a playoff game and thinking negatively.
Yeah.
When the Yankees have kind of a path to the World Series that is the easiest one we've seen in the past 20 years, where you can't help but be positive about the Yankees, but I'm a pretty negative fan. It harms my well-being.
Yeah, I can't deal with that. All right, cut that out. And also, Gardos all the time, right?
What does that mean?
I don't know, but I think Emmett Golden says it, our guy at ESPN Cleveland. He likes
it's a Guardians
thing.
thing.
The Guardians, yeah.
All right.
Gardos. Go Gardos. You don't go in Gardos.
Gardos. I mean, the new franchise name. So I guess it's a work in progress.
Yeah. Gardos.
Should have been in the baseball club.
Who's their best guy? The Gardos.
Jose Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez and the Gardos.
Nice.
Getting on the get around. I know Jose Ramirez, by the way. It's good. Really good.
Big chew in his lip. He loves chewing tobacco.
Yeah. Do without that. You know what I used to love really as a kid growing up? Big League Chew. Underrated.
Yes, man.
Stuff your mouth with that.
That was my when I was in Little League, I hit a triple off the top of the fence. And I've never approached hitting a home run out of the park. Still a little park. Still a very short fence, but I never even got close to that. But the one game that I stuffed the entire packet of Big League Chew into my mouth, I hit the top of the fence. So every Little League game after that, I made sure to pack an entire thing of Big League Chew in my mouth before the game.
Did you ever hit the top of the fence again?
No, I never did. So I thought I'd regain that magic, but it never happened.
Next stop.
First stop on the Get Around, where you take you across the country and sometimes across the world to give you the headlines of the games that were Vegas, Nevada. Because the Steelers blew out the Raiders 32-13. Pittsburgh running back Najee Harris, he woke up finally, 106 rushing yards. Justin Fields in the blowout win, 12 for 24 with 145 passing yards. So I tell you those stats for a reason, Theo. I don't think the Steelers are winning because of Justin Fields, but they're not losing because of him as well.
Yeah, and they almost did. He had a red zone interception that got saved because there was a roughing the passer call, which will get erased, right? You do that. It's not like one of those penalties that eradicate the interception that's like a defensive hold or a PI. Like a roughing the passer call is a bailout if you throw an interception. Had nothing to do with the interception. So I'm starting to get nervous on my Justin Fields take. Before the season, I said he's going to take this job. Russell Wilson's never going to get a snap. He's going to hold on to it all the way through. The Steelers aren't really that good, and offensively, they're still not up to snuff. He needs to figure something out. He has to have himself a good game soon, or Russell Wilson, who's fully suited up Helmet on, ready to go.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah, he's the kid. We all had these kids growing up playing Little League, playing, sports that would like purposely always just stand or sit right next to the coach no matter what. Just eager to get in the game. If he wants you in the game, he gonna come find you. All right? Get your ass out the way, Anderson.
Next stop.
Ahoy! What are some British things?
Ahoy?
Cheers. Yeah, I don't know why.
Cheerio. That's what they say. Cheerio.
Cheerio, bruv. We're going to London, England, eh?
Bruv. Hold on. Let me see. Let me try something out. Keep going. I'm thinking of something. Keep
Brilliant.
going. Brilliant. Oh, yeah. They say brilliant in soccer all the time.
And in Harry Potter. Class. First class. Well, as Theo, you predicted, Caleb Williams lit it up as the Bears crushed the Jaguars
Governor.
in Jacksonville's home away from home. 35-16. Caleb had 23 for 29. 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 56 yards rushing in big moments. Did this game say more about Caleb Williams in Chicago, or did it say more about Jacksonville?
More about the Bears. Because, rookie quarterbacks are 0-5 straight up in overseas games, in these NFL international games, until Caleb Williams stepped on that field and won it. Also, he's building a connection with Keenan Allen, which, again, Allen had been either absent or hurt all throughout the year up until this point. He's building a connection with 13 that I think is going to prove itself to be even more valuable than DJ Moore or Rome Odunze because he's such a good security blanket. I finally saw what I anticipated we would see earlier on out of the Chicago Bears offense. And on top of that, that defense is good. It's just a good defense. They're opportunistic. They get takeaways, good pass rush, great defensive backs, very unheralded defensive backs, but they have excellent play. That's a good football team. We asked that poll question, which NFC North team is getting left out the playoffs. A popular pick right now, I think it's up to 70% on our poll, presented by Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections, is the Bears. But I don't see the Bears missing the play. They're too good. They're going to win 11 games.
Yeah.
That's the baseline.
You talked about that defense. I think a percentage of turnovers are luck, fumble luck, right? You drop the football, that thing's not shaped like a perfect circle.
No.
It's going to bounce left, right, maybe you recover, maybe you don't. They force so many opportunistic turnovers. They don't just think about bringing it to the ground. They think about another former Bear, I believe. Peanut Tillman. They think about forcing the football out.
They're punching at the ball all the time, whether that be near the sidelines or in the middle of the field. They called it out on the broadcast, and we saw it multiple times. TJ Edwards. I think Jalen Johnson punched one out. They go after it. Brisker. I absolutely love the Bears. And you knew that coming into the season because all offseason I was singing the praises of the Bears. Also, the Jaguars suck.
Next stop.
Dallas, Texas, in the Red River Shootout. Texas blew out Oklahoma 34-3. Post-game, a bunch of Texas players, they planted their flag at the 50-yard line, penetrating a throwback Sooners Baker Mayfield jersey, just straight through it like a sword. And when asked about it, Baker said that Texas has just been giving Baker rent-free in their heads for almost a decade now. It was cute, he said.
So that's the only problem I have with the Texas football players doing this is you're kind of lifting Baker Mayfield up. You're making him more of a part of the story. You're giving him credit. You're showing him love by doing this. There's no other quarterbacks they could have done it to. At least a quarterback y'all actually played against. You never even played against the dude.
Yeah, that was really weird.
So random.
That was weirdo behavior. Big blowout win in the Red River Shootout. It's a big deal, don't get me wrong. And that's a massive rivalry. Of course, you guys left the same conference for a reason together to go to the SEC.
You know what? I want the story behind it because I just thought about something. Maybe this is what happened. They didn't bring the Baker Mayfield jersey in to do that with it. Maybe the jersey got thrown onto the field. Maybe a disappointed fan took off their Oklahoma jersey or whatever.
Yeah.
Somehow they came upon this jersey and then they went and did it. I would hope it was impromptu like that because if this was premeditated, it's just weird behavior. I mean, the dude's gone. He's like a grandpa compared to y'all now.
Next stop.
The city of brotherly love. On our next stop of the Get Around, we're going to Philadelphia, where the Eagles narrowly beat the Browns 20-16. Post-game, at the final whistle, you have Nick Sirianni jawing at fans. What did your first reaction to that, Theo?
He's emotional. He's volatile. right? Like, he's not a steady leader. Nick Sirianni doesn't bring anything to that team but passion, right? He's not calling defensive plays. He's not calling offensive plays. He doesn't have a thumb on the pulse of the culture because he has a bad or at least middling relationship with his starting quarterback. And now he's antagonizing the fans because he's ridiculing them for booing the team. Nick Sirianni has gotten to the place where I'm not calling for his job. I don't think he should be fired. He's obviously a well enough head coach, but he doesn't add anything to the table. And with a team that has so much dissension around it, and a team that should have blown the Browns out because literally their quarterback and Deshaun Watson and the rest of that team, they have zero belief in themselves, but you squeak by with a 20-16 win. Nobody has any confidence in Nick Sirianni. Fans hate him. The players, we heard from the stories before the season, hate him. And honestly, as a bystander, as a guy that just watches from the outside looking in, he don't do much for me either. Talking Eagles here. Noah is in Palm Beach Gardens. Let's bring Noah on. I believe this is my guy, Noah Carbone, who is a resounding Eagles fan. We've done a bunch of shows together at the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Is this Noah Carbone? Is this my guy, Noah?
This is him. Listen, Nick Sirianni is Philadelphia. I mean, this guy, he's the embodiment of Philadelphia. So him getting a little chippy after hearing the Boo Birds come down, he got a little emotional and he reacted to him. The city of Philadelphia loves that stuff. They play into that. They eat this stuff up. I don't know if every team's Twitter is the same as the Eagles' Twitter, but man, they go through the ringer every single game, and I'm here for it, to tell you the truth.
Noah, does it feel like because it does feel like he's one of y'all, right? He feels more like an Eagles fan than he does an Eagles coach. You like that from the guy that's supposed to be leading your franchise through both, negative times and positive times? It feels like that emotions on the sleeve thing can be risky, and that's what kind of caused some dissension in that locker room.
So, I don't know. Yeah, well, they
you like that, though?
Dissension in the locker room, but yeah, I don't know. There's many different ways to lead, and there's the quiet guy. There's the Tomlin who doesn't really say anything, and the Andy Reids who is the quiet, funny guy. And then there's the Nick Sirianni who's literally in everybody's face. He's in the camera's face. He's in the fan's face, and we can relate to him. We know. Hell, we might know as much about football as Nick Sirianni. I can almost see myself yelling at the fans. I can almost see myself yelling at the fans in Philly, like, settle down. How do you like this now? So either love him or hate him. I think that, he's the fourth or fifth active winning percentage coach in the league. So he's got to get some credit. And just because he's a little abrasive in some areas, I don't know. It fits in Philadelphia. It probably doesn't fly in Tampa or maybe not in Kansas City. Probably not in New York City either.
No.
So, but it works in Philly.
I like that, Noah, and I appreciate the call. If it works for the Philly fans, to me, then that's all that matters because, that's not all that matters. It has to work for the organization. It has to work for the players. It has to work towards winning, which they've done enough of. I just don't think that he adds enough outside of that. Like, if that's all you are, but you're not like a play-calling genius, or you're not a master motivator, or a quarterback whisperer, or some kind of defense schematical wizard, you can be replaced by a guy that we can bring in and do those things to an excellent level, because what we did realize with Nick Sirianni is heavily propped it up by his coordinators. Highly contingent on how well you have of coordination between your offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. You see the two guys that left him going off and having some success. And this year it's a little better. Why Nick Sirianni is the question. I get why you don't fire him because the high winning percentage, but why keep him? If he was fired today, would there be any team in the NFL that's like, yeah, that's our guy? We want Nick Sirianni.
I don't think so. Now, that was one thing. Sirianni kind of jawing at his own fans in your face after the Eagles beat the Browns. Another thing from yesterday that Sirianni did that's rubbing a couple of Philadelphia sports fans in my life, it rubbed them the wrong way. He took his kids to the post-game pressure. Do you like that? Do you hate that?
That's a shield. He used his kid as a meat shield.
Yeah.
He absolutely, because he knew that they came up short. They did get the win, but they came up short, and he had some conflict with fans and whatnot. He brought his kid up there for sympathy and to dilute some of the questions that might have been asked if had not been for them, if it had not been for them having such a struggle game against the Browns team that doesn't look like a serious contender. Yeah, that was That was bad. That was a weak move to me.
I mean, I know you
Does he do it often? That's the real question. How often does he bring his kid up there?
I'm not sure, but I'm never a fan of the kid stuff.
Yeah.
I'm never, like, even when it's after a great win, a win, maybe won a championship, I don't really care. I do not want to see the kids in front of the coach, near the coach. Keep them out of that room. You have plenty of family time on your off days.
Noah says he quite often brings the kid to the podium, but C-Cat says, well, I hate the kids.
I don't care if you're Steph Curry. You know, remember when in his championship runs in the Dynasty, we had a whole lot of Steph Curry with his children at the press conference. I don't want any of that.
Yeah. Leave your kids at home. Unless you're going to a Duffy Sports Grill.
Bring them there.
Because that's what the Get Around was brought to you by Duffy Sports Grill, and that should be your next destination. Nick Sirianni, anybody listening, bring your kids to Duffy's because they can have some fun as well. While you're watching on all of the 80-plus TVs at every single location, while you're enjoying your 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day, maybe you can get your kids to chow down on some of the full starting lineup offers that are only for football season, including the house-made fried pickles, the smoked fish dip, gridiron nachos, crispy fried green beans, and loaded and barbecue pig skins. Those are just some of the offerings, including the award-winning burgers and jumbo wings at every single Duffy Sports Grill. Are you ready for some football, and are you ready for some good eats? Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. And remember, at Duffy's, our game is always on. And yeah, Noah says he brings his kids to the podium. And that's cute. That's cool if you do. I do think that it feels like a cop-out. It feels like a meat shield when you know you're going to be facing some real serious questions. And there's going to be some real questions around whether or not this is his last year in Philadelphia. Because if it is, he's not getting hired somewhere as a coordinator. He damn sure isn't getting hired anywhere as a head coach. So he's got to be like feeling the pressure more than anybody else to win. But how'd you feel about the new look? You could tell he's trying to switch things up. He's trying to present differently the way that he shaved the hair off.
Yeah.
New hair, new me.
Tyler Hero type vibe.
Yeah. Hey, Tyler Hero's been reading. Check out our full interview with Tyler Hero from Heat Media Day on ESPN West Palm's YouTube at ESPN West Palm or at Theo Speaking. Great conversation with Tyler Hero. The boy's been in the books this offseason. He's changed his mental, and that could be good for the Heat. It could be good for the Heat, or he's just saying that right now and he'll revert back to his ways. We don't know. We'll find out soon. What we do know right now is that we have a huge Monday Night Football game tonight. Bills at the Jets. Josh Allen versus Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to be giving out some prize picks plays to go along with that game that you can hopefully be able to make some money with me on. We also have our midday midterms, and I don't know if you heard this, C-Cat. My ear is real close to the streets, close to that pavement. Streets been talking. And I'll let you know what they've been saying on the other side. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey, theoretically speaking, on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Experience the ultimate blend of luxury shopping, dining, and entertainment at the Gardens Mall. Just 1 mile east off I-95 on PGA Boulevard, this premier destination offers a mix of high-end brands, trendy retailers, and delicious dining. The mall's award-winning architecture, fine art, and lush landscaping create a stunning backdrop for interactive experiences and events. Whether you're shopping for the latest trends or enjoying the vibrant atmosphere, the Gardens Mall is Palm Beach County's top shopping and lifestyle destination.
Welcome to Homestead Miami, your home for the racing high life. A track as vibrant and colorful as South Florida. An Xfinity and Craftsman Truck Series playoffs doubleheader on Saturday. A Cup Series playoffs showdown on Sunday. And it's all caliente.
Side by side for the race lead.
NASCAR playoffs weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway, October 26th and 27th. Get your tickets now at homesteadmiamispeedway.com.
Hell of a job, guys. Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to helping the customers and the communities they serve move forward financially. See how they can make a difference for you at PNC.com.
I'm Wendy Sartori-Link, your Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections. Election Day is November 5th. Voting by mail is easy and secure. Request online at votepalmbeach.gov or call us at 561-656-6208. Return your ballot with prepaid postage or drop it off at one of our secure locations during designated hours. Our online ballot tracker allows you to get live updates on the status of your ballot, and the deadline to request is Thursday, October 24th. No matter how you vote this November, we're here to make it count. Sponsored by the Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections Office.
ESPN West Palm and Humana are proud to recognize military veterans within our local community. Our Veteran of the Month is Colin Durant. Colin served 5 years in the United States Navy, with additional service as an FMF corpsman in the U.S. Marines. Colin resides in West Palm Beach and continues to be an inspiring presence in the veteran community. He is a proud owl, graduating from Florida Atlantic University with a master's degree in business. Colin is an avid sports fan. His favorite teams are the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Phillies. His favorite athlete is Kevin Durant. Join us in extending our heartfelt gratitude to Colin for his unwavering service, sacrifice, and continued dedication to his fellow veterans. Colin Durant is the Veteran of the Month, presented by ESPN West Palm and Humana.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
ESPN 1063 is presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
They can help you if you're in an accident, but your fantasy football team, not so much.
Hi, this is Blaine Isbell, Corporate Vice President of Team IP. For over 30 years, Team IP has been a national leader in decorated apparel and promotional products. National corporate brands and 22 college bowl games, including the Boca Raton Bowl, make Team IP their partner of choice. Team IP, located right in our community in Stuart, is a proud partner of ESPN West Palm. Contact me anytime at 877-821-8643 or head to teamip.com and take the first step in making Team IP your team to boost your brand.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
They don't call me 10 Toes Teddy for nothing, right? I stay down, man. I got a strong, sturdy foundation, C-Cat. I also...
That's what everyone says. Rumor around it, yeah.
Rumor around town, man. Got a strong, sturdy foundation. I've been known to keep my ear to the pavement, man. I have a good thumb on the pulse of what's going on, not just here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast, but all across the globe, especially in the world of sports. So when the streets is talking, I'm listening, and I'll be the messenger for you. I'll let you know what the streets been saying, but before I do it, I have to tell you about a little opportunity for some NASCAR to get in the mix. Hey there, race fans. Get ready for the ultimate NASCAR weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway, the Craftsman Truck Series playoffs, and the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs doubleheader. Those are races you don't want to miss. We have tickets for you to claim right here. All you have to do is listen into the show and follow along on social media at ESPN West Palm and pay attention for when we're giving those live ticket giveaways with our NASCAR or the movie Cars trivia game. If you would like to purchase tickets, go to homesteadmiamispeedway.com. NASCAR or the movie Cars. It's fun. It's cool. The kids love it. And the adults love it. Everybody loves it. Who doesn't love NASCAR or the movie Cars?
Can't think of one person that comes to mind.
It's a lot of overlap. The Venn diagram between people that love NASCAR or love the movie Cars or both, it's like 90% of the world.
Yeah, we pretty much hit every demographic.
Yeah. That's what we do here. We hit every demographic. We're just plugging holes here on Theoretically Speaking. No potholes in the streets because the streets is talking. The streets is full. Yeah. Give me my music. We're going to hit the rumor mill right here. I'm going to deliver to y'all what the streets have been saying to me, and we'll just talk about it a little bit. Not just football, not just basketball, maybe a little bit of baseball. The streets is talking, and I'm listening here on Theoretically Speaking. Wait, what's that right there? Oh, the streets saying that the NFC North is what y'all promised me the AFC North would be. That's what the streets saying, not me. I don't shoot the messenger. But the Bears, the Lions, the Packers, and those feisty Vikings, they look good. 5 losses combined between the 4 of those teams in the NFC North. By the way, the AFC North, which was supposed to be dominant this year, you have a middling quarterback for the Browns who can't pick up wins, a quote-unquote elite quarterback with Joe Burrow and the Bengals who struggle against the Giants, and then you have a Steelers team that tried everything in their possible rally of outcomes to give a shot for the Raiders to win that game. There's one elite team in the AFC North and 3 teams that would be grateful to make the playoffs, whereas in the NFC North, all 4 of those squads.
You point the blame to 2 teams and blame in a good way for the Vikings. The Vikings are definitely better than anybody in their wildest imaginations thought the Vikings could be with Sam Darnold at quarterback.
Yeah.
And you blame the Browns. The Browns should have made this division, the AFC North, they should have made them a contender to have every team in the playoffs.
Come on.
And you know what? I'm not writing off the Bengals yet as much as you are. I think the Bengals are certainly still in play to make the playoffs. I would bet money on that. I'm going to look up right now what the numbers are for the Bengals to make the playoffs.
And again, it's not me. It's the streets talk. I'm just a messenger. I got my ear to the ground, keep it low, and I'm locked in. Streets talking. Streets are talking still. They're still chattering. Oh, wait, what's that right there? Streets saying the NLCS is already over.
What?
That's just, my hands are out of it. But after what the Dodgers did, I mean, CK, 33 straight scoreless innings pitched from the Los Angeles Dodgers. I don't think that we anticipated this happening. Well, I've been reading that they came in with injuries to their pitching staff. What gives?
Give him some break. It's just 1 out of 7 games.
Oh.
Do not count the Mets out quite yet. I don't know if you've been watching as much of the magic that I've been witnessing with the Mets in 2024.
It's coming from a Yankees fan.
There's no reason the Mets should be where they are right now, so I'm not going to write them off because there's no reason they should beat the Dodgers in this series, but they've taken those odds before, and they like those odds.
33 straight scoreless innings pitched, most since the 60s in baseball. Dodgers up 1-0 in the NLCS, but the streets are saying, to me, NLCS already over and done. That's not me. That's the streets. Wait, I'm hearing some more murmuring. Yeah. Oh, what's that? Streets saying the Jaguars quit.
No.
The streets are saying the Jaguars went overseas and in front of the Queen of England. Or I guess the Queen passed.
King.
Is there king now? King of England. The royal family and all of the sorts. The Jaguars waved the white flag, not just on this game, but on this season, and that 35-16 loss to the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams. And in this instance, it's not just the streets. How about we listen to defensive back Andre Cisco from the Jaguars?
I just feel like it was, how should I say this? A lot of quit. Like, there's no excuse for lack of effort. Like, that's literally the least you could do is come out and give effort.
Cisco is saying not only are the Jaguars out there actively quitting in the midst of their big, NFL international trip to London, but also they're showing a lack of effort. Cisco, by the way, had an interception in this game, so he's not really pointing the blame at himself. This is over and done. We said this 3 weeks ago, C-Cat, that the Jaguars season was over with, that the Trevor Lawrence contract doesn't look good. And it hasn't gotten any better yet. I don't see it getting any better this year. If you had to put money on it, which coach in the NFL would you say is the next one out after we've already seen one coach go down midseason?
Gotta go with the Jaguars. They've looked so bad on several different isolated stages. And that's the home away from home. That should be a Jaguars home game with how often Jacksonville does play in London. If they don't beat the Patriots, another London game next week, he's not going to be on the flight back home.
There's no way Doug Peterson survives. The last coach we had get fired was Nate Hackett. After, not Nate Hackett, Robert Saleh. After an international game.
Yeah.
In London.
Is it easier to do it that way? You don't want to look at the guy in the eyes?
I would have, you know what I would have rather see, because I think it's not out of the realm of possibilities. The Jaguars should have just gone ahead and got rid of Doug Peterson in between these two games. He's in London. He's on vacation. He can enjoy himself. Now, if they do fire him while they're in London, are they responsible for his flight back to the States?
Good question. What about his housing? What if he wants to stick around for as long as the Jaguars are in London?
Yeah.
But then he's got to hitch a ride back with the interim head coach?
Oh, that's awkward.
That's very awkward.
Super awkward. Yeah, the only reason why he has a high amount of job security right now is because they're on a trip. When they come back, especially if they do lose to the Patriots, which looks realistic, it's going to get ugly for him.
Yeah, you don't fire the employee who gets too drunk at the work party or the work team building trip. You don't fire him on the trip.
No, you can't.
You wait till the Monday after and hey, I'm glad you came in my office. It was just unacceptable. You did not have to have that many drinks. You're gone. You don't do it at the party.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
It would be tacky to do it at the party. That's what the streets was saying. And that was streets talking here on Theoretically Speaking. Just some rumors, just some things I've been hearing. I keep my my ear to the ground. And it don't take a genius or somebody that has their ear to the pavement like I do to know that Nick Sirianni's seat is extremely hot. I'm talking scorching hot. The only thing I can think of that could cool that seat down would, maybe we head on over to edsisyes.com. edsisyes.com. Yeah, I'm talking about our people, our family, your trusted AC experts in Palm Beach County. EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Check their Google rating out right now for yourself. A 4.8-star Google rating with over 760 reviews. That's because they've been keeping you cool since 2006. Keeping you cool. Can't do much about Nick Sirianni's hot seat, but keeping you cool, that's on their list of priorities. You get 24/7 support right online at edsisyes.com. Timely service. Schedule an appointment right around your schedule, and you know they're going to show up on time. They're going to send you that text with who you got, your technician. You get a guy like Randy, my guy. He's a Canes fan. That's family. You can book it online right now. edsisyes.com for all your AC and plumbing needs. edsisyes.com. On the other side, a Monday Night Football preview. Who needs it more tonight? Who means more to their team's success, Aaron Rodgers or Josh Allen? Plus, our Prize Picks plays of the day for Monday Night Football. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
ESPN 106.3 is presented by Rubenstein Law. 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Car accident, truck accident, Uber or Lyft accident, or a slip and fall. Call Rubenstein Law. Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL and visit one of our offices throughout Florida.
Experience football in paradise this fall at FAU Stadium. The Owls host the USF Bulls on Friday, November 1st under the primetime lights in Boca Raton. Tickets are available as low as $20. That's right, just $20. That's Florida Atlantic versus USF in a college football homecoming showdown. Friday, November 1st in Boca Raton. For tickets, visit FAUsports.com. Florida Atlantic Athletics, winning in paradise.
Theo here. EDS is yes. You've heard me say that over and over. So I need you to keep this website in mind too. edsisyes.com. For the most trusted AC specialist here in Palm Beach County, edsisyes.com. For 24/7 support, EDS is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. There are so many reasons why EDS is yes when it comes to your air conditioning and plumbing. edsisyes.com. That's edsisyes.com.
Time Time now for the Land Rover Palm Beach Player of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. Every Player of the Week is eligible to win a scholarship at the end of the year. This year, a $25,000 scholarship will be awarded to an athlete, with $10,000 going to the winner's high school athletic department. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond. Here's Cade Chumsland.
Our Land Rover Palm Beach Player of the Week is American Heritage Delray quarterback Mason Caston. In his last game, Mason threw for a touchdown and then ran for 3. He currently has 7 touchdowns both through the air and on the ground to have the Stallions at 5-1 on the season. Here he is on wanting to be a great role model for his young team.
Trying to build up my line. We have a young team that's coming up. Hopefully when I graduate, pass down so they could keep coming up in years to come.
Congratulations, Mason, on being selected the Land Rover Palm Beach Player of the Week. Good luck to you and the rest of the Stallions on the remainder of the season.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery, as well as new, less invasive treatments, with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. We have been racking it up on Prize Picks. It has been fun and another opportunity to strike some gold tonight as the Buffalo Bills travel to the New York Jets tonight on ESPN and ABC. 8:15 kickoff. The Bills a 1-point favorite against the Jets. C-Cat, I know a lot of people would think that this game is more necessary for the Jets. It's more necessary for Aaron Rodgers, but I think Josh Allen is the one that's going to have the most to prove here because the Bills looked good when they were playing against bad teams. And then back-to-back games against contenders, the Ravens and the Texans, they've come up short. The Bills need this one because they're an actual contender. The Jets, they're a dumpster fire. Here's what I would do, though. Before we talk more on that game, I want to give you some plays of the day on Prize Picks. If you don't know what Prize Picks is,
missing out.
Yeah, you're definitely missing out, number one. Secondly, it's easy to get and jump in on. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Over 5 million active members. It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. So here's how it works here. All right, you can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. And you're just picking against player stat projections. Between 2 to 6 different players' stats projections. Here's 3 picks of the day for Prize Picks just to get you going. Josh Allen's projected rushing total is 34.5 in this game. Josh Allen on primetime in a must-win game for the Bills is going to use everything in his chamber to get it done. Expect him to have more than 34.5 rushing yards. Mark that one up.
He's not sliding.
He's not sliding. He's going to, burrow his head right through his head through somebody's chest. How about his running back, James Cook, 15.5 receiving yards. He's hit that 4 out of the last 5 games for the Bills. Plus, got some good corners, got a good secondary. The check down is going to be open. James Cook is a good play. And my last good play, this is an easy one for me. Garrett Wilson, 5.5 receptions. He's coming off a 13 reception game. More than 5.5 receptions for Garrett Wilson. That's Aaron Rodgers' guy. Prize Picks. You play those picks plus some more of your own in your own lineup, and you can win big like myself and C-Cat have been doing. And make sure you use the promo code THEOD. You instantly get $50 for free. C-Cat, it worked for you, right? $50.
Oh, man. I'm still going because I'm winning. It's incredible.
He's still on his promo money, and he's getting more money off of that. You play a $5 lineup, you get $50 for free. Promo code THEOD. Lock in with Prize Picks. All right, well, that's it. Who you got tonight, C-Cat, on the way out the door? I do believe the Jets find a way to win this one.
I'm going Jets.
Yeah.
I'm going Jets 23-22.
Yep. Off of the new coach. Go in love, go in peace, go enjoy. Russo and Rizzo next on ESPN 106.3.
Classic fun is back on select nights. At Palm Beach Zoo, there's family fun. It's the best date night. Oh, zoo lights cheer here at Palm Beach Zoo. Oh, what fun it is to save wildlife at the zoo. Hey!
Zoo Lights, present